going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Pam, let the record show that all trustees are present except for Ms. Robles. I want to welcome you all to this month's meeting of the El Paso Community College Board of Trustees. Pam, is there anybody that wants to speak to the board?
No one signed up.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and start with 1.4. Approval of the minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call a question?
Mr. Uxer. Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Ms. Pena.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Go down to 1.7, Pam, presentations by individuals, groups.
Item 1.7, presentations by individuals, groups, and organizations. Item 1.7.1, Ms. Olga C. Chavez, Director, Diversity and Inclusion Programs, will present the College District with the National 2019 Higher Education Excellence in Diversity HEAT Award for the 7th consecutive year.
Good evening, Dr. Serrata, Judge Haggerty, members of the board, fellow colleagues. I'm here today in a happy occasion, as is said, to share with you some information and the award. I distributed a magazine, Insights into Diversity, and I've highlighted the 2 pages. One is EPCC, the ad on page 21, and this was an ad that we put up, sent to them, and it shows EPCC, and it's 5 members, our scholarship recipients for the Hispanic Heritage celebrations, along with our picture there with our open house for the diversity programs. And on page, on page 64, you will see all the recipients that received awards for 2019. I want to say there were 94 recipients throughout the nation. However, there were only 5 community colleges, and we were the only community college in Texas. So we're still doing very well. Before I go up and present this to you, Dr. Serrata and Judge Haggerty and members of the board, I do want to mention something to you that last week I was invited to attend Texas Association of Diversity Officers in Higher Education, and UT Austin hosted a reception for those who won the HEAT Award. I want to say that it was so enlightening to be there amongst fellow diversity officers, and that UT, along with other members of the colleges, recognize those individuals who have worked so diligently for diversity. So I have also another award to share with you from Texas. With that being said, if I could please ask Dr. Serrata and Judge Haggerty and members of the board, if you wouldn't mind taking a photo.
Okay, I apologize, but I forgot the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Smith, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Pamela, next.
Okay, item 1.7.2, Mr. Brian Kennedy, Mr. Rick Parr, Mr. Bo Bagley, and Mr. Omar Rappel, members of the management team for the El Paso Sports Commission, will be presenting a check to EPCC for the sponsorship of the NJCAA Half Marathon Championship.
No.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Bo Bagley with the El Paso Sports Commission. Several other members of our management team couldn't make it tonight. Several other meetings. We also host the Immigration and Naturalization Service. So about 830 people will be getting their U.S. citizenship tomorrow at the Coliseum. So fortunately they couldn't be here, but I'm so happy to be here to represent the El Paso Sports Commission. One of the many roles of the Sports Commission is to help promote tourism and sports tourism in our beautiful city. And one of the ways we're doing that is helping sponsor, and as the presenting sponsor for the NJCAA Half Marathon National Championship this weekend in El Paso, where EPCC, men's and women's teams, are looking to defend their national championship. So as the Sports Commission is concerned, we're absolutely ecstatic to help sponsor this wonderful event. And from my understanding, EPCC and the Sports Commission has teamed up before to sponsor the cross-country national championship. So once again, we're excited to be the presenting sponsor of the Half Marathon National Championship. So with that, I believe this is certified by Bank of America and Wells Fargo. But here you go, a check to EPCC for $5,000 as the presenting sponsor from the El Paso Sports Commission.
Let's do a picture.
Sure, absolutely.
So if I can ask Ms. Mo, Associate Vice President Mo, to join us. Members of the board, I know that you're going to go up, and I'll join you shortly. But I do want to thank Associate Vice President Mo, as well as our athletic director and coach Felix Hinojosa, for the great work that they've done. This has been a long effort to host. We couldn't do it without great partners like the Sports Commission, who's done a great job. So thank you very much.
And sir, on behalf of the college, we'd like to give you this for your office. It's a little plaque saying that we are sponsoring the national championships here this weekend. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Item 1.7.3, optional presentations will be made by the presidents of the Classified Staff Association, the Professional Staff Association, the Faculty Association, and the Student Government Association.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. There you go. Hello. I'll try to keep it short and simple. So we had a couple events happening over here over the past month of November. We had the Fall Festival. I would like to thank everyone who came out and showed support to all our clubs and organizations. I did see Dr. Serrata in attendance, so thank you so much for stopping on by for your second favorite event of the year. or your children's first favorite event of the year. There we go. And then, so pretty much it was an amazing turnout. About 2,500 students went and, or 2,500 members of the community turned up and showed up to the event. And it actually was a very, very great fundraising opportunity for our clubs and organizations so they can go ahead and work on their future projects or anything that they want to go ahead and get done here at the college. So hopefully this keeps on going. We get a bigger turnout every single year. So next year, fingers crossed, we get a little bigger turnout and everything from there. So recently, about, I want to say 2 weeks ago, Representative Art Fierro, our former chair, went ahead and, in behalf of him, with his efforts with Walmart, went ahead and donated a $500 check to the Tejano Food Pantry for pretty much for Thanksgiving. A lot of the students, almost half of us, have actually experienced some sort of food insecurity. Just to give you guys a little tidbit of information. And we're actually, with that money, we're actually making Thanksgiving meals for not only the students, but their families as well. We're doing a little essay submission contest on asking them what they're thankful for. And with all the submissions that we have, we'll go ahead and give them out to the winners. And with those, we give them the whole Thanksgiving meal. And pretty much the funds of the $500 would go to obviously purchasing the turkey and also other food items when it comes to getting, the turkey, like such as the biscuits, mashed potatoes, and things like that. Pie. Yes, and pie, yes. And then, if you guys want to spread the word, we actually have our deadline this Friday. So if you guys know any students, please let them know and turn it into any SGA office or any campus life office with the essay submission, and we'll be gladly taking it. Another thing last thing is I wanted to go ahead and thank Representative Fierro, even though he's not here today, for giving us this opportunity so we can give to our students as well. The next thing is we actually had also an event. At the same time, we had the check presentation with Representative Fierro, which is actually the National Disability Employment Awareness Day. And with that event, we actually had a couple of members of the community in terms of job employment, such as the Borderplex Solutions, the Career and Transfer Services, and others, to actually give resources out to our students with disabilities. We also as well, the Center with Students with Disabilities, we paired up with them, and they went ahead and gave out some tours to show what the CSD has to offer. So I'd like to give a special thanks to the director, Maria Lopez, for being able to partner up with us, and so we can make that event possible. So thank you. The next thing is the Charisma James Veterans Resource Center, formerly named the Veterans Resource Center. Just to give you guys a little history, she was actually a former SGA member who unfortunately died heroically trying to save her kids. And pretty much just to give you guys an idea, she was instrumental in actually getting the Veterans Resource Center started here at the college. And not only that, extending far beyond the college as well, she actually went ahead and was instrumental in starting the Student Government Association at the Texas Tech Health and Sciences section across the street, or down the street. I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Graham for showing up and giving us a little speech. I really enjoyed it. And also Judge Samaniego for providing a resolution, and also Judge Burrell, who was in charge of the Veterans Affairs. Last but not least, we have the Leader B1 conference. We had 125 students in attendance, which is our most ever. And also, I would like to give a special thanks for all the people that came and presented, which is Professor Jennifer Dalgan-Richardson, Ms. Portillo, Crystal Robert, and Crystal Escobedo. And also the main presenter that we had for Friday, which was Melissa Reese, which is part of Swift Kick, which also, what she did is she actually pretty much kept us engaged and also provided a lot of opportunities for us as students that we can use in terms of expanding our leadership skills and also be more active within the college. But that's the end of my report. So if you guys have any questions, yes, if not, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Happy holidays. No other reports? Okay. Next item, Pam.
Item 1.8, communications, none. Item 1.9, Board of Trustees business. Item 1.9.1, discussion and action to authorize the president to execute a license application or agreement pertaining to real property located in Fort Bliss.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nahara?
Aye.
Ms. Pena?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Item 1.9.2, discussion and action regarding changing the Board of Trustees meeting date for the month of January 2020.
Motion?
Move to approve?
What date?
Well, get a second, we'll have a
It's,
discussion.
the proposed date is January the 29th, 2020.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
January 29th, 2020.
Is that a regular scheduled meeting? or a special
That's our
meeting?
regular meeting.
Okay.
That's a month that has 5 Wednesdays instead of 4.
Oh, okay.
And because of the college being closed, this is the recommendation of the administration to move that 1 week.
Will there be a facilities meeting prior to standard?
Yes, sir.
Did we ever get a second?
I
Second.
didn't even hear who made the motion. Did you get it?
Uh-huh. So our board meeting will be on January 29th, 2020. Call the question?
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nahara?
Aye.
Ms. Pena?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Item 1.9.3, discussion and possible action regarding the lawsuit entitled Joyce Cordell versus El Paso Community College in the County Court at Law Number 3 of El Paso County, Texas, cause number 2019 DCV 1001.
Do we have anything from our legal?
I would recommend that this item be taken up after executive session.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that, or do we just move this to executive session?
There's already a corresponding executive session item, so we don't need to do anything. We just
Okay.
table it.
So that's what we'll do.
Item, excuse me, item 1.10, board reports. Item 1.10.1, treasurer's report, August 31st, 2019, September 30th, 2019. No action is necessary. Item 1.10.2, president's report. Item 1.10.2.1, Dr. Sarata will update the Board of Trustees and audience on recent events that have transpired at the college.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, I have a long report. There's much activity that has been done at the college and many items to brief you on. Our El Paso Community College faculty continue to do amazing work that is being recognized by our community partners. 5 faculty received awards at the 2nd Annual Success Through Technology Education ceremony held on November 14th at the Wyndham Hotel. The Council on Regional Economic Expansion and Educational Development, CREED, along with the STTE Foundation, presented awards to regional educators that impact the lives of students by incorporating innovative and STEAM curriculums in their classes. Ms. Margie Nelson Rodriguez, English professor and special projects assistant for the Vice President of Instruction and Workforce Education, received the CREED Educational Leadership Award for her leadership on the Prudential Math IT movement at EPCC. Ms. Manuela Gomez, philosophy professor and philosophy club sponsor, received the Outstanding School Achievement Award for her philosophy as a means demonstration to students that care about their community to gather and solve real-world problems. Other EPCC award recipients include Ms. Kim Diaz, philosophy professor, Mr. Aaron Alvarez, philosophy professor, and Ms. Isadora Stowe, art professor. Thank you, professors, for the great work and commitment towards student success at EPCC. The Rise to the Challenge Bridge program keeps its record of bringing a yearly award to EPCC. The annual Biomedical Research Conference for minority students took place at the Anaheim Convention Center on November 13th through the 16th and was attended by over 5,000 students, faculty, and exhibitors. EPCC Rise to the Challenge student Joshua Segoviano won the Microbiology Community College category for the presentation of his research project, a survey of the El Paso County for Wolbachia infection within the order of Opidia. I'm sure I mispronounced all of that. Other student participants included Catherine Montalvo, Alessandra Martinez, and Andres Villagrana. Congratulations to our students and to Dr. Maria Alvarez, biology coordinator and RISE program director at the Trans Mountain campus. The program continues to exceed expectations and do such amazing work under Dr. Alvarez and Dean Webb's great leadership. The fashion program hosted the Vogue Mexico editor-in-chief, Ms. Carla Martinez, on October the 25th. The event was held at the new Trans Mountain Campus Fashion Lab to a standing room crowd of participants for the community. New Mexico State University merchandising students and EPCC fashion students. Thank you to Ms. Vanessa Ramirez, Fashion Program Coordinator, and adjunct faculty members Ms. Suri Tave and Mr. Jose Sainz for coordinating the event. Mr. Santiago Reyes, a graduate from the Culinary Arts Program, was nominated Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Mr. Santiago was recognized as the Small Business Development Center's Millennial Entrepreneur of the Year at the El Paso Restaurant Association meeting held at the State Line Restaurant on October 22nd. 3 additional students were recognized at this meeting and each received a $2,500 award. The students are Mahala Johnson, Alejandro Hidalgo, and Belen Gonzalez. Congratulations to all our students. Special thanks and appreciation to Chef Daniel Guerra, Culinary Arts Program Coordinator, and Dean Rick Webb for the leadership, instruction, and great service you provide to our El Paso Community College students and the college family. On October 29th, the El Paso Community College Leadership Academy held a special event to seal the Leadership Academy Time Capsule Vault in honor of the college's 50th anniversary. The vault will be sealed until 2044. Thank you, Dr. Linda Brown and Academy participants for organizing this event, and to everyone, including our trustees, who shared memorabilia. SGA, as you heard President Rodriguez mention earlier, hosted its annual Fall Festival on October 31st. The event was well attended, including the boys and I and my lovely wife. It was a great event. Thank you to the members of SGA for providing this safe and fun event for our community to participate in. Ms. Arvis Jones, who also leads that particular program, well done. On November 6th, EPCC was honored to host the Texas Tribune and members of the El Paso Legislative Delegation. The Tribune is touring the state with a series of events recapping the major policy debates of the 86th Texas Legislature and what they mean for Texas's largest cities and surrounding communities. It was wonderful to host Mr. Evan Smith as well as the entire delegation, save Representative Ortega, who was ill. A 50th anniversary employee and retiree luncheon was hosted on November 19th in honor of El Paso Community College's 50th anniversary. Prior to the event, the Board of Trustees, under the leadership of Dr. Graham, held a special reception for our retirees. The event was very well attended, and it was a great seeing so many former employees at the event. Many thanks to Associate Vice President Carrie Moe, to Dr. Dolores Gross, and the foundation staff for organizing this event. Dr. Graham, I'm sure you were pleased. We got it done. The El Paso Community College Board of Trustees hosted a welcome reception for Dr. Heather Wilson, President of the University of Texas at El Paso, last evening. The event was catered by the Student Culinary Services area and was attended by representatives from both El Paso Community College and UTEP, as well as community partners from area educational institutions. Earlier today, we held the grand opening of the Transportation Training Center at the Valle Verde campus, which was attended by more than 250 guests. The TTC building is home to Automotive Technology Program, is one of the EPCC's first program. Today continues to provide students the strong technical skills to meet the growing demands of the automotive industry locally and across the country. The Diesel Technology Program, which is one of the most in-demand fields according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the TTC also houses EPCC's Auto Collision and Repair Program. Students from each of these programs have a high placement rate into jobs. Some transfer to get 4-year degrees, some return to get additional certifications to qualify for supervisory positions, and others open their own businesses. By training the workforce through these programs, the college is having a large economic impact in providing services that benefit our entire region. Special thanks to Associate Vice President Moe, Associate Vice President of Workforce and Continuing Education, Dr. Jaime Farias, Dr. Maisho Pago, Dr. Olga Valerio, Ms. Luz Tawada, along with the TTC faculty and staff, as well as the marketing team, EPCC TV, media services, the physical plant team, culinary arts, and the many other members of the EPCC team who assisted in this event. I'm sure there won't be that many suits in that building again anytime soon. Last week, the men's and women's cross-country team participated in the NGCAA Cross-Country National Championships held in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The men's team placed second and the women's team placed third. The Tejanos were led by Dennis Kiptu, fifth place, and Bradley McCouvry, eighth place, both earning All-American honors. The Tejanas earned All-American honors Evelyn Kimboy, second place, and Francisca Jabor, ninth place. The cross-country half-marathon season culminates with the NGCAA National Half Marathon Championships this Saturday, November 23rd, which will be hosted by El Paso Community College at Escarate Park in El Paso. The men's and women's teams are the defending national champions. Spectators are invited to attend this event and cheer on more than 120 athletes from across the country. In addition to a strong NGCAA cross-country championship performance, the college was also recognized with individual awards. Athlete Gideon Chepak won the 2019 NGCAA West Region Men's Cross Country Athlete of the Year. Well done and congratulations. And our very own athletic director and cross country head coach, Felix Hinojosa, who led the Tejanos to the Region 5 Championships title with 20 points over 3 nationally ranked teams, was also recognized. Under Coach Hinojosa's leadership, EPCC, currently number 3 in the nation, swept the top 4 spots in each of its 4 victories this year, as they also won the Vanguard Invitational, the South Plains Open, and the Saints Invitational. This record and outstanding performance earned Coach Hinojosa the West Region Cross Country Coach of the Year award. Congratulations, Coach Hinojosa. That concludes my report, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Grossman.
Item 1.11, consent docket. This includes items 3.2 and 8.2.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Ms. Pena.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 2.0, administration. Item 2.1.1, the following policy is presented for first reading. 3.22.03, professional development leaves. No action is necessary.
I have a question on that. Sir, on that, I see that almost everything got scratched off. Is that because it's being worked on?
Go ahead, Ms. Schwartz.
Dr. Graham, right now, all this information is contained on the current procedure, and we felt like it was more appropriate, especially if we make some changes that are more cosmetic, so they don't have to come back to the board for something like that. Usually, a board policy does not include such detail, so that's the reason we're recommending to delete, but it is going to be included in the procedure that is under review and should be implemented in the spring of 2020.
Okay, so we're not deleting professional development?
That is
leave,
correct.
we're just in- Okay,
Yes.
We're
thank
just
you.
designating policy versus procedure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Item 3.1, discussion and action to approve full-time staff and faculty recruited in positions funded by the institutional budget.
Move to approve with the exception of the executive director for strategic enrollment?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Ms. Pena.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 3.3, information items, resignations, and retirement. No action is required. 4.0, financial services. There is none. Item 5.1, discussion and action on the approval to enter into a contract with Train US Incorporated for the purchase and installation of a new 80-ton air-cooled chiller to serve the library and the classroom buildings at the Northwest Campus in an amount not to exceed $304,707.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Ms. Pena.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 6.1, discussion and action on the approval to enter into a contract with PDX Printing in an amount not to exceed $66,961 annually.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nahara,
Aye.
Ms. Pena,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 6.2, discussion and action on the acceptance of a grant from the U.S. Department of Education. Child Care Access means parents in school in the amount of $250,000 per year.
Move to approve 6.2 and 6.3.
Second.
Item 6.3, discussion and action on the approval to accept a grant award from the U.S. Department of Labor Susan Harwood Training in the amount of $111,519.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nahara,
Aye.
Ms. Pena,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 6.4, discussion and action on the approval of a memorandum of understanding between El Paso Community College and Socorro Independent School District for the use of an automotive technology classroom and lab at EPCC.
Move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Abstain?
Ms. Nahara,
Aye.
Ms. Pena,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 7.1, discussion and action on the approval of expenditures with the UTEP Office of Special Events for the use of the Don Haskins Center for Graduation Ceremonies for fiscal year 2019-2020 in an amount not to exceed $65,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nahara,
Aye.
Ms. Pena,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 8.1, discussion and action on the approval to accept a cooperative agreement from the University of Texas at San Antonio and the U.S. Small Business Administration in the amount of $277,057.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nahara,
Aye.
Ms. Pena,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Okay, executive session.
Executive session.
But 8.2.
We already accepted that.
Oh,
It was
did
on
we?
consent.
Okay.
Consent docket.
The Board of Trustees may conduct an executive or closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following reasons: consultation with its attorney to seek or receive legal advice or consultation regarding pending or contemplated litigation or for any purpose authorized by law, discussion about the value or transfer of real property, discussion about a prospective gift or donation, consideration of specific personnel matters, discussion about security, personnel, or devices, or discussion of certain economic development matters. The board may also announce that it will go into executive session on any item listed on this agenda if the subject matter is permitted for a closed section by provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. Discuss with the board's legal counsel the suspension and investigation of an employee in the Financial and Administrative Operations Division. Discuss with the board's legal counsel the suspension and investigation of an employee in the kinesiology department. Discuss with the board's legal counsel the lawsuit entitled Joyce Cordell versus El Paso Community College in the County Court at Law Number 3 of El Paso County, Texas, cause number 2019 DCV 1001. Discussion regarding the Public Utility Commission of Texas proceeding relating to the sale, transfer, or merger of El Paso Electric Company to Sun Jupiter Holdings, LLC, and IIF US Holding 2, LP, entities related to J.P. Morgan's Infrastructure Investments Fund, PUC docket number 49849, joint report, an application of El Paso Electric Company, Sun Jupiter Holdings LLC, and IIF US Holding 2 LP for regulatory approvals under PURA Sections 14.101, 39.262, and 39.915. So the time is 6:55 PM. The board is reconvened in regular session. We'll go immediately to item 1.9.3. Discussion and possible action regarding the lawsuit entitled Joyce Cordell versus El Paso Community College in the County Court at Law, number 3 of El Paso County, Texas, cause number 2019 DCV 1001.
I move to approve and authorize the settlement agreement under this matter entitled Jace Cordell versus El Paso Community College under the terms as discussed in executive session. Further, I ask and move that we approve and authorize President Serrata to sign a final negotiated settlement agreement. And that would be my motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Nahara.
Aye.
Ms. Pina.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Okay. Next board meeting will be on January the 29th.
No,
wait, what?
December
'December 18th.
December 18.
Let me correct that. My next board meeting will be on January, because I'll be in Hawaii on the 18th.
Oh. That's our regular scheduled meeting, though. We do have our special meeting on the 25th, the
Yeah,
afternoon.
but I'll be here for the
All
25th.
right, all right.
But anyway, okay, December 18th, I'll leave it in your hands, Dr. Graham.
Oh, dear.
Enjoy Hawaii.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
All right.
Time is
Good job.
6:57 PM.
See you.